there's no loyalty in those corporations. Not, if you died, they'll replace you this week. They'll stop talking about you. You know, by Monday they forgot about you. I have a friend that's joining today for a bit. This fellow entrepreneur that built a pretty significant business in his part of the world, and multi-million-dollar company in fitness, health type space, and we were just having an interesting conversation. Maybe we'll chat together for 10 minutes. I'll hop over there. We'll have a little chat together for a few minutes. So, you and I were chatting yesterday, and a bit just now about your position in life, where at one time both of us went to graduate school. You have your graduate degree in some computer science area, yeah?
Yep, software engineering.
Software engineering, master's degree, I think, yeah?
Yes.
And we were having a conversation where he was working at Deloitte for a while, and if I'm not mistaken, he spent a year or so at Deloitte. What's your perception of that? What did you think about going through that more traditional path?
Yeah.
You're from Europe. You might have a different perspective than a lot of American clients do, so that might be more relatable to some of the Europeans. But I think there's a lot of overlap, but there might be some nuance differences. And what was your perspective of the, go to school, get an education, go to college, graduate school, get into a large, significant, well-respected global company? How did that go for you?
Well, the main thing that I noticed is the difference between what you expect it to be, what you've been told it's gonna be, and go for this great job, and they talk about the company like it's something you have to obtain, and it's gonna be difficult, and you're gonna learn so much, and you're gonna be overwhelmed, and so I had that in my mind, and I was like very happy I got the job, and it's now it's gonna happen, and then you start day one, and you're like, all right, it's fine, but it's nothing special. And then, that's kind of how and after a month or like 2 months, like I started to notice, I'm like, well, like there's not going to be more, like this is it. And how do I say it? Like what you end up realizing, what I end up realizing is it's just, nobody knows what they're doing. Like they're just kind of like, they're just really good at, I mean, some of the people have subject matter experts. They're subject matter experts at something. I was in a technical field, so they know a lot about a specific kind of database, for example. But they don't know much about how to make real world decisions. And I think that's a skill that you need if you want to be successful in life. That's what I came there to learn that. To learn how to make my life successful and how to make decisions. And yeah, its practical knowledge was barely non-existent.
So you mentioned to me after 2 or 3 months you were already thinking about leaving.
Yep.
You made a commitment to stay there for a year, so you stayed there for that year to keep your word and be in alignment with your integrity. But you mentioned after 2 or 3 months you thought, well, this is it, and I should get the hell out of here immediately.
Yep. I started thinking, what's next? Yeah, how to get out. Yeah.
What did you do on the aftermath of that? What year did you quit, by the way?
So that was 2011 when I quit. I started 2010. 2011 I quit.
A bit over a decade ago.
Yes, exactly. And then I knew from the beginning I wanted to start my own company. I think it's the logical next step in your evolution. You have a job and then you want to have a company, and you want to be the owner of something. So that's what I did. And what I did was I literally took a sheet of paper and I wrote down all the things that I thought I was the top 5% in the world at. Mm-hmm. All the skills, all the things as simple. I speak Dutch, so it's like I'm in the top 5% of people in the world speaking Dutch. Like it's just a silly example, but I wrote everything down, and then I kind of I figured if I take 3 of these things and combine them in one business, it's gonna be pretty damn hard to compete with me. So that's what I did, and I knew a lot about the Google search engine since I worked on a project with that in my studies. I've always been told by people that I'm good at explaining stuff, so explaining something, and I was very interested in health. And I kind of took those 3 things and I combined them, and then I found the market of helping people lose weight was a very lucrative market. So that's where I started my company.
Yeah, and that takes time. I don't know your version of the story, of the details. And he and I know each other for about a decade, by the way. So we met in around 2011, 2012, 2012.
Yeah, 2012, yeah.
Yeah, so we know each other for almost a decade. So you were just at the beginning of that entrepreneurial path at that time. And, we chatted, yesterday, and I thought it was rattling around in my head overnight, so I thought it was worth sharing that what would happen if you would have spent an extra decade at Deloitte and then decided, now that I've been choding around here for 11 years, doing not much with the same type of people, now I'm going to go have my breakaway moment.
Suddenly, yeah.
So, you built a multi-million euro business of, annual revenue and great profit margins, and, you have quite a good following and a lot of people that respect you in your space. So if you would have sat around that office for, another 9 or 10 years and then decided to do something, how do you think your life would have been different?
So obviously financially, I will be much more worse off, but I would argue that that's not even the most important thing. It's an important thing, but it's not just the I think the confidence you get from doing your own thing and making your own money and making your own decisions, and there's nobody telling me what time I should get up or what time I should do this or that. Like, just having that control over your own life, I think adds a lot of happiness and confidence, and just like the quality of your life just gets better, and then you get to do what you want to do at some point, and I think that compounds every year. Like, every year you spend in a miserable job, or any job for that matter, that you don't have the freedom that you can do what you want to do. Like, also that compounds, and then if you just take that little shift and let's start something for myself, and I think the financial compounds is one thing, but then definitely the life quality compounds.
What would you say to somebody here that's thinking about they're in one of those jobs right now that there's several people on this call right now that they're smart people.
Yep.
They went to university. They hustled their way into one of those jobs that they thought they wanted. And, there's several people on here right now that are in kind of one of those positions. They're like, on one hand, they're like, what the hell am I doing here?
Yeah.
They don't see the immediate path necessarily to veer off of that and have their own business. But they're clearly having that thought, what the hell am I doing here?
Yeah.
And, I help them, just as advertised, I help them within that organization. If you're going to be there, you could at least, get some raises and promotions and be closer and closer to the top of that. But ultimately, I'd like that to be the backup plan, and I'd like them to wean themselves away from the corporate teat and go do something independent and have their lives for themselves. You have any thoughts you'd share that if you were in that spot today as a person in your 20s or early 30s?
Definitely, a couple of thoughts. I mean, if you're in your current job and you're trying to get the promotion or get the you can choose the game you're playing. So be very aware of, is this the game that I want to be playing? Is this where I want to put the effort in? Because you can also put that effort in something else. So just as a beginning, like, really think about that. Think about if it's a wise investment of your time and energy. And then the other thought that I had is, when you do, it's so difficult to understand what your opportunity cost is for doing something. I mean, say that I kept a corporate job for 5 or 6 years and I made my promotions and the salary is okay, and it's really easy to feel that you're doing great, but that's only because you don't know what else is there, and it's difficult to determine that on the point where you're at right now. It's really difficult to kind of see, hey, what are the different things that I could have done, because you would literally need to be in a separate universe to kind of like understand that. So, but try to do it anyway. Try to, what would happen if I would have done this 3 years ago, and it's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be shitty. Like, starting a company, especially the first couple of months or maybe even years, it's just gonna be hard work. But when you do that, and when you keep doing it, and when you stay at it, then at some point you're gonna see that that the results you're getting month by month, they're not growing linearly, they're growing exponentially. Like it's just going to be, and how long that's going to take before it's really going to take off, I cannot tell you. It will take time, but that's something you want to put your effort in, something that's going to pay off exponentially.
I quit my last job when I was 19, and you know that story. Most of them know that story. And I knew I was just going to eat shit for a couple of years. I just expected that. It's like, well, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. I didn't have a great plan. It sounds very irresponsible. Frankly, when I tell that story, it sounds preposterously irresponsible. That like, didn't really know what I was going to do. I had minimal other income. A little bit of entrepreneurial income. I was in university, and I thought, I'm going to go to university full time. I'm going to accelerate my university courses, make sure I'm going to school full time. I'll make sure that I get mostly A's in those classes. I expected to have, at the end I had 5 A's for every 1 B, I never had a C. That's for losers. But I had 5 A's and a B, 5 A's and a B, and that was about the ratio over the course of my university career. I didn't know how the hell I was going to pay the bills exactly, and I just but I knew, you know what, fuck this, and I'll figure it out. Yep. And I expected that it was going to suck for a couple of years, and it did. I was correct, as usual. And, it got better and better after that. And, today, I'm starting to be pretty good. And I think a trap that they fall into, that you touched on it and I touched on it here, that they think, well, hey, how would I just quit my job and go, into this, a weird, dark space where I don't know exactly how everything is going to turn out. Where on the other hand, I could get my little raise, get my little promotion, get... grow my network. These people think they're networking, that you don't have a single friend at work. You don't have one. You don't have one loyal friend at work. Not one. Not somebody that reports to you, not somebody that's in a lateral position, not somebody above you. You don't have one. There's no loyalty in those corporations. Not, if you died, they'll replace you this week. They'll stop talking about you. By Monday, they forgot about you. So, Joey died on Wednesday. Oh, that's really bad. They take a moment to say some corporate bullshit, or there'd be a little email. There'd be a little email gets out. Oh, rest in peace, Joey. We're all mourning you deeply. And by Thursday's coffee, they already forgot about poor Joey. Joey died in the office on Wednesday afternoon. By lunch break on Thursday is back to work.
Joey,
sports. Talking about their favorite sports team again. So you don't have a friend in corporate life. None. Not one. And you're lying to yourself, in my estimation. And I don't want to tell you to go quit your job and go do something that you think is going to be hazardous for your life. But I think there's a lot of people out there that are lying to themselves of like, oh, my friends are at work, my network. I'm building my network, as if the people that you work with give a shit about you, as if the people that you work with in other projects that extraordinarily few of them give a shit about you. It's a lie.
Yeah.
And you get your little raise and you get your little promotion, and you get your little raise and you get a little promotion, and you keep telling yourself that lie. And to your point, that starts to feel like success to some people. And then this is like the setup for a midlife crisis. By the way, people like you and I don't have a midlife crisis. We already dealt with those frustrations or miseries in our early 20s. We're like, well, I guess I'm going to eat shit for a while, and but I'm not going to stay in the wrong job. I'm not going to date the wrong person. I'm not going to tolerate the wrong friends. I'm going to set myself up for future success. So people that behave like me or you don't have a midlife crisis.
No.
The people that have that is they wake up when they're about my age, and they think, what the fuck have I done? I got my raise. I got my promotion. I got my wife that I don't really like and get along with. I got my couple okay kids. What the fuck am I doing?
It's really like the 3 secret questions. That's a great antidote to the midlife crisis. If you think about what you want, it's so important to do that now. It's the antidote for the midlife crisis that you otherwise will get, around 40 or something. I don't know when you get that kind of stuff. But one more thing that's on my mind too is, if you're in your job right now and you are thinking of doing something entrepreneurial and it feels like a dangerous step for you, always keep in mind that being an entrepreneur, it's not different than just like providing value. If you're able to provide value, then you'll have no problem becoming a successful entrepreneur. If you're a sleazeball and you don't have any real value to offer, then you're gonna have a problem. But if you have legit value to offer, and then you have to learn, which you're gonna do in this course, you'll learn how to communicate that value, you'll be fine. There's gonna be no problem. It will be hard work still, but in the end, you're gonna be fine.
I totally agree with that. It's what business is. If you can help solve other people's problems, the world's happy to compensate you.
Yeah.
If you are or are on your way to be a millionaire or multimillionaire, probably going to want to spend time with my clients. Probably going to want to have a personal relationship with me so we can accelerate that process, get you living up to your maximum potential, earning your maximum wage. You're going to want to click that follow button. You're going to want to click that bell and get notifications. Tune in every Friday. Tune in every Monday. You're going to love what you see. I look forward to having you as a client in the future.